Let me build it up a little more. Wanda? Has a testimony.
I had an automobile accident and spent 3 months recovering. And after I recovered from the accident, I thought everything was wonderful. I started working, and I worked 3 weeks delivering auto parts. During that time, I put my dog outside on a tie-out chain and was walking back to my house. My other little dog was with me, and he saw something in front of me, and he ran and hit me from behind and knocked me forward. And when I fell on my hands, my arm, and my face. And I hit my head on the edge of our pavement. And when I tried to get up, my left arm didn't work, and it was obviously dislocated. There I lay on the ground, and guess what? Without my cell phone. There's nobody around, so I struggled to get up and come inside, and the pain was extreme in my left elbow. So I got inside to the cell phone, and I called my husband, Tim, and he came and took me to Calvert Memorial Hospital. They took me in and x-rayed my elbow and my head and my neck and spine. Now, remind you, I walked in there, okay? The nurse came and said, she looked very serious, she said, "Lie down flat and don't move. You have a broken neck." The doctor came in after that, and he looked more serious, and he said to both of us, "You have a clear break in the C2 of your neck." I questioned him because I'd recently had a wreck, and I knew that the C3 of my spine had been injured from that wreck. He asked me questions about my wreck, and he went back and looked at the x-rays again. And he came back and he said, "I've been calling, we're going to call Life Flight, and we're going to fly you out to Washington Hospital Center. They're better equipped to help you with this injury." He stated to us that this is life-threatening, and that if I'm not treated properly, I could be paralyzed or die. He also said, "I'm not going to try to set your elbow because I'm afraid because your neck is so fragile." So they packed me up and flew me by helicopter to Washington Hospital Center. My husband, sitting in the room, called everyone he knew to pray. During that 15-minute flight, I got a miracle. I was totally asleep because they tranquilized me to keep me from moving my neck. I woke up 2 hours later, my arm was set, and I had a neck brace on. The doctor came in and told me he was more concerned about my elbow than my neck. When they x-rayed my neck, it had healed. It was strained now, not broken. I was kept in the hospital the next day, and they sent me home to recover. They told me, "Follow up with a specialist for your elbow in a week." So I went to the specialist. He also x-rayed my neck. He came back and he says, "I only found a C3 herniated disc, not a break." In 2 weeks, he also x-rayed my elbow, and he said it should be in a cast for 6 weeks. Okay? So I came back in 2 weeks for my checkup. He said in 2 weeks it healed 6 weeks worth, and in the second week he checked me and told me that I didn't need to come back unless I have trouble with it. He also said I had 2 chipped bones in my arm, and occasionally they hurt, when I move them around. And he said if I would not need surgery on my elbow unless the chips move a lot. In that case, I would need a small incision to remove the chips. So I went back home, praising God for a miracle, and I decided to go to Calvert Memorial Hospital and see if I could get those records, because I'm curious, okay? So I went and got the records. I got a letter from the chief of emergency medicine that states that I had a broken neck and the complications of it were death or paralysis. I thank God that he healed me and that I recovered miraculously from the dislocated elbow. But when you're strapped onto a backboard and flown to a hospital, thinking you're going to wake up in a halo or paralyzed or not wake up at all. It makes you realize every day that we wake up breathing and moving, you have a miracle. I started a new job now that doesn't require me driving or lifting, and I'm feeling much better than I have in years. And this is the story of my miracle.
Thank you, Wanda. Thank you. What a mighty God.